first.
Okay.
We are back in the action, guys, with a brand new heat. So we're in Group B, and they're about to get started any second now. So here's who we have on the floor right now. We have Team Magic. We have Team Harpeth. We have Nashville Force. We have Hawks, and we have Upper East. So this is a completely new group of athletes that are about to compete. They're about to start their first round of 7 events. Sav, Group 2.
Yeah.
They got to match the energy of Group 1. I'm not going to lie. Group 1 brought it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to find out here because what I noticed in Group A was how much it grew, the intensity and the hype in the air. It was just more exciting as we went through rounds. So we're going to cover each event as much as you guys can see or as much as we can get you. We have 2 different camera angles here, so we're trying to get you in on the action as far as all of these events go. But we have Magic in the room. Team Magic is right behind our booth, so it's going to be right behind the camera here. And they are prepping, I believe, for the slam and throw. I could be wrong about that, but they are already in the building, Team Magic, and then we will have other groups as we go, but here we go.
And you heard the countdown. There we go. What you're about to see right now is the sled. So we're starting off on the sled, starting strong. Yeah, this athlete is starting strong on the sled. And so now, again, this is about speed and strength. Speed and strength, the perfect combination is what the sled is about. Now, on top of that, we got a little cardio. Again, that heart rate is going to go up really quickly, like down. By the time you get down there, your heart rate's high. Like your SOB, short of breath.
It looks like here's athlete 2 on this team. Ooh, definitely making her way down.
Yeah.
With a good time. Nice pace, too.
Yeah, good, great pace.
Like we were talking about earlier, if you go too hard, too fast on a sled, specifically the sled, you're in for gassing yourself out pretty quickly. You got to have a nice pace.
Yeah. Any tips for the sled?
Any tips?
Yeah, what tips did you get for the sled?
Number 1 is watch your pace. Don't take off down the field as fast as you can go. Yeah. Depending on the weight, I mean, if it's a sprint, it's a sprint, but still, you gotta have that pace, because if you go too fast and you're not thinking about being efficient, it's game over before you get there, you know?
Over.
What about you? This is your strong suit, remember?
Yeah, so I would say put your body in the direction like an arrow, right? You wanna be stiff, so arms extended, core is strong, so you're gonna brace that core, and we're gonna drive those legs. So most people are thinking turnover. This is about putting force into the floor, right?
Yeah,
this is about driving those feet into the floor and pushing it. So it's kind of like rowing. When I tell people, rowing is not about speed. Rowing is about strength and power, right? So it's about, if the harder you pull, the farther you will go. It's not about getting back and forth really quickly. So it's the same thing on the sled. It's about putting force into the ground. The more force you put into the ground, the faster you're able to go.
Absolutely. I always tell people to extend fully with their legs too, especially the heavier it is. You know, you pick up your knees, because the more that you are using that power from your legs, getting that full range of motion from your quads, pick up those knees, extend the legs all the way out, squeeze that butt cheek, and repeat on the other side. The more efficiently you're going to get that sled down there, because you're using all of those prime movers down there in your lower body. And then you got your core. That's super important.
Yeah,
and if you're rocking them hips side to side, you're not efficient, you know?
Literally the same principles apply to the trap bar deadlift.
Absolutely.
Literally the same principles apply to the trap bar deadlift. you're driving those heels through the floor. You're literally just putting force into the floor. And so Team Magic is who you see right now on the trap bar circuit. So we have 5 trap bar deadlifts, and then we go into those shoulder taps. So that's core. Again, we're talking strength, we're talking core, we're talking cardio, because it's as many rounds as possible. And so once you never really get a chance to rest. You go from heavy, if you ever lift anything heavy, you're instantly out of breath, right?
Your nervous system
and so
is taxed.
it's taxed. And so you go right from that to those shoulder taps, and you have to, more strength. You have to hold your body up. Your core has to stabilize your body so you're not rocking back and forth. So again, every event here, 7 events of full body workout. That is
I mean,
that alone is amazing.
I'm blown away because, like you said, on that note, lifting weights is taxing on your nervous system. And then on top of that, getting down on the floor, getting back up, get down on the floor, getting back up. Do you know how much that spikes your heart rate? I mean, we talked about that.
It's the little things, yeah.
Purpose, you know, just getting up like a superset where you're down doing shoulder taps and then you stand up and pick up, you know, the barbell for a deadlift. That in between is on purpose. That up down is on purpose. And here it's on purpose. It's part of the competition, but just doing that, you know, regardless of how much weight is on the bar, but your nervous system is taxed. So you really do have to have all of those elements in place, and you have to be dialed in with it, because if you're not pacing yourself, if you're not focused on your form and technique and lifting efficiently, pushing efficiently, throwing efficiently, all of these athletes have trained for this, and they're out here now just executing, because once you get to that point you're at the competition, training is done, you are there, the moment counts. Now it's about having fun.
Yeah.
But you can see how much these athletes have trained for this, because all of those elements I just listed, they're coming out naturally now. That's what happens when you train and you're consistent and you work hard and enjoy the process, no matter who you are. That process, it's motor learning that becomes motor control. And these athletes are demonstrating that beautifully today. It is so cool to watch. I am just blown away, because it's a lot of intense stuff. We've talked about how full body this is. And we have the first round out of the way.
That is the first round. So we're going to that 2-minute transition period.
Athletes are feeling good, high-fiving around the room.
First round went very well. It went pretty quickly as well, yeah.
Yeah, this is exciting, Jarrell.
I love it. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to the action for round 2 of 7.
Hey, and we have returned.
5,
Here we are.
4, 3,
2 and 1. We are off on heat number 2. And what you are looking at right now is me and Jarrell, but we're going to cut to the farmer's carry over here with Team Harpeth competing on the farmer carry. So you can see the med ball squats. That's the filler exercise in between. So we have, for most of these stations, a filler exercise that goes in between these med ball squats. Go with the farmer carries, and we have this athlete making his way down. Great form.
I love the coaching on the form, even from the start to picking the weight up.
Yep,
because so many times, like, we'll just bend over and grab the weight and then try to get the form. But even if you notice that, like, that athlete went from squats into another squat to pick the weight up, a perfect trap bar hinge, dumbbell hinge, and then stood up tall. So you see how all of these things work together. They stack on top of each other.
Yeah.
And so that leads back to coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm counting how many squats he has to do. That's 2, 3. Here's 4. I'm guessing it might be 5 to 10. 5.
There we go.
Yep. Okay. Squats are 5. And then you pick the weights up again. Yep, coached on
perfect
the form,
form,
chest up,
stand
beautiful,
up, yeah.
Beautiful lift. And now he's down on his way back to switch it out with his partner, and she is off. Beautiful squats. Wow.
Good, great squats.
These
great
are
squats.
impeccable.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these squats, you guys.
Yeah. And so again, going back to that coordination, right? Like understanding like the squat pattern.
I think that's 45 pounds.
I think those are 35s and 45.
Yeah, that's heavy. You have to have some grip strength for that.
So great grip strength, great posture. Again, we're talking functional here.
Yeah.
This whole thing is about functionality, but it's also, total body every time. You can see on the athlete's face how dialed in she is. And so again, this is Team Harpeth right here that we're watching in these squats. And she is dominating, bruh. You can tell she's ready. Yeah, look at that.
Too. They're strong.
Yeah.
And I always, when I'm coaching a farmer carry, you mentioned this yesterday, is you want to walk tall.
Yep.
You don't want to walk on a tightrope, though. You walk like a natural human being, because it's not functional. Nobody's out here walking on a tightrope unless you're on a tightrope, right? So, you ain't got to go foot over foot, but walking tall and make it efficient.
Proud,
and that's exactly what we just saw her do. She walked efficiently, she walked tall, she had the weights, her chest up, her shoulders back, and she was making long strides that were natural for her body.
Yeah.
And we are going to cut to the agility portion over here. Another, almost like drastically different than the farmer carry, but just as important.
And just as taxing, right? Like,
Absolutely.
again, by the time our athletes get here, this is all heart rate, because you don't just go through the agility, you go through and then you got to go right into jumping jacks, which is more cardio, and then you rest. So the faster your team is, the more opportunities you'll get to go, which means the more tired you're going to be by the end of that.
The better your chances are. That's always the catch with the competition.
That's always the catch with the competition, right?
Have you ever been to like a CrossFit combine or anything like that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah? What was it like?
Very, very similar to this. The energy is high. If I can be 100% honest, some of these athletes have way better form than this at some CrossFit competitions. Just because CrossFit is all about getting the reps. Right? It's not. Yes, I don't want people to think like they don't coach form. They do, but when you're tired, right? Your form is the first thing to go. And if it's all about as many reps as possible, then you're just trying to get those extra reps. And that's usually where we as coaches will pull back and say, all right, you're too tired, like let's take a break, and then we'll jump in and get it. That's not what CrossFit is built on. So let me be clear about that.
At the end of the day, if you focus and you move through the process more correctly and you're pulling back in order to correct that technique,
it's not going to be as fast as possible.
More capacity later on. But, in a competition setting, it happens with powerlifting too. Form breaks down. You know, it does. It happens, but we want to avoid that as much as we can in the training process, you know, and that's why training is so important. And clearly, these athletes have trained for this.
Yeah, as you're seeing right now, we're going ground. Let's go. We're going grounds overhead. I'm sorry, I got caught up in the moment. That was the coach coming out of me right there. So we're going ground to overhead here, and this athlete's going to hit those 5 reps, and he's going to take off and sprint, baby. And he's going to go grab a cone, and he's going to sprint back, and then the next person will go. And so as you're seeing, these athletes are really here to compete. This is not just a slogan. When they say, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in my. You just saw the bravery in the attempt right there. Like, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna empty the bucket. That's what I preach to my clients. Empty the bucket. That means give me everything you got, and then give me a little more. If you ever empty the bucket, you have to shake all the water out. So give me all of what you have, what you think your capacity is, and then shake it some more and give me a little bit more, right?
Absolutely.
Because you always have more than what you think you have, and these athletes are proving it here. Like, because you see 7 different events, 5 minutes, and we're expecting them to give everything they have at every event. That's a lot of energy expenditure. And so
what do you think they're doing after this?
If I know what I would be doing.
I'm going to eat. I'm going to sleep.
I'm going to eat. Yeah, I'm going to go lay down with my feet up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably take a great nap, then wake up and eat again, and then go back to sleep. That's what I would be doing. But the crazy part is they had a dance last night.
Yeah. You know, and that's so funny you say that, because I really wanted to go, and I was all about it all day until after dinner. We went out to dinner, and
you didn't even compete.
I was just.
So imagine, like,
I didn't even compete.
You didn't even work.
I am. Nope, I'm not for the count. I'm like, we're going back to the.
Like, I'm going to the hotel. Yeah, I'm good.
And I'm like, all right.
I'm heading to the hotel, guys. I'll see you later.
And
they came and danced. Had a dance last night, and then came back to compete again this morning. So that lets you know exactly where these athletes are conditioning-wise, right? Like, that alone is phenomenal. A full day of competition, go out and dance, and then come back and let's compete again, baby.
And they're just as excited.
Just as, like, there's no drop-off. There's 0 drop-off. So right now we're in that 2-minute transitional period. We have 30 seconds left until the next event is going to start. We're going to start you guys on our slam and throw. And so those athletes here are going to slam the ball. They're going to throw it as far as they can forward. Give me 5 jumping jacks, and then the next athlete jumps in and does the same thing. The goal here is kind of like a leapfrog. We want to take you all the way down and back as fast as we can, right? And so these athletes here are giving it their all on this. So here we go. Big slam right here. You're going to throw it down. This is going to pick it back up, throw it forward.
I think you have
and
to
just
go
gonna run
and then throw forward. I think I've been trying to watch what the rules are. So it's an overhead slam. I'm not really sure. I think they were trying to do an overhead slam to a chest slam. And then you chase your ball down, do your jumping jacks, a bit like a relay. It's a lot of energy being spent there. And you have to be thinking about this too, you know, like I feel like those last 2 stations over there, the agility and the slam and throw are gonna be where, like, if you are overthinking it, where you're like, your nerves get to you and you're like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's like, that's where you're gonna mess up. That would be me.
Yeah. Well, it's about being able to control your nerves, being able to control your emotions, not getting too high, not getting too low. Like, I'm a too high guy. Like, I go all in, as you guys heard a little earlier. Like, I was gonna say I get really high, but I don't know if that would come across the way I wanted to. But like, I get really emotional, right? Like, I lead with my emotions because I'm an energy guy, and so
that's good.
So I'm the energy guy on the team, right? Like, I'm the one you tap into
when
it gets low.
Back in sometimes too.
I do, and that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes I have to dial it in. Like, okay, like right now, either the team doesn't need that or I don't need that. Right. So understanding when to be that guy.
That's what I struggle with, you know, on like in a team setting. I have to reel back my emotions because I get really like passionate or excited, and I'll let, like, if something bad happens, it'll be like, oh no, you know. But it's like you really have to reel that in a competitive environment. or it's going to get to you, and it's
Yeah.
going to affect your performance.
You gotta have a really short memory. Like being able to compete is all about the next thing.
Let it go.
It's
Yep.
about the next thing. So whether you did really good or whether you did really bad is about the next thing because
Well, and that's what
because
these
the next
athletes
thing's
are
happening
doing.
regardless. Yeah.
You're watching it happen
Yeah.
because they're just out here having fun.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like
no
I
matter
said.
the event, like if event number 1 wasn't your best, then hey, you gotta forget about that and get ready for event number 2 because event number 1 is over, right?
Yep.
So control your emotions and let's go to work. Let's go
Yeah.
back to work, right? And so your emotions are real, but they're not facts. So let's go back to the
That's a good
sled push. Here we
Say it
go.
again.
Drive, drive, drive.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that
Back.
body extension. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Arms extended, driving through the balls of your feet, putting force into the floor.
Yeah.
That is picture perfect right there. I hope somebody got a picture of that. That is picture perfect of
We
how
got
I
it
want you to push
live.
that sled, right?
And everybody's watching it.
So we're not
If that's
short.
your
We're not
athlete,
short and
better be
choppy.
proud.
We're driving those feet. Here's athlete number 2 about to get into that sled. She's driving as well. Staying forward,
Yep.
right? Leaning, putting
Yep.
force into the floor. And you can tell, like, after 1 or 2 times, you're hoping you don't get a third one. Like, man, come on. Like, I am drained, baby.
She's driving good.
She's
extending
driving
those
good,
legs.
yeah. There you go. Get back in there.
And you gotta hand it to these coaches too. I mean, look at this dedication. I mean, if every coach had this type of dedication, I'm taking notes here. As a coach, I want to be as intentional as these coaches are. I mean, they are
Yeah.
truly. And we've talked to a lot of the coaches here today, today and yesterday. We've
Yeah.
talked to a lot of the coaches, and a lot of them came from backgrounds of being not special needs coaches for
Yeah.
Special Olympics. They came from being coaches like I am. or
Sam,
like you are.
look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's a complete powerhouse. Listen, that sled
That sled
never
was nothing.
stood a chance.
He
He is
said, "What
moving
sled?"
on that sled, baby.
Next
This
thing
is
you
what
know,
it's
he's
all
gonna be in
about.
a strongman competition, moving a truck with his mouth.
I hope not.
That guy's a tank. Let's go.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. We're going back into those ground to overhead here. So here's what we have. We're going ground to overhead. From there, we have a full sprint. We're going to sprint down and back, grab a cone, hand that cone off, and then the next athlete on our team goes. So again, full body movement. We're dropping those hips. We're standing
Wow,
tall.
look at that.
We're
Look at that
taking off
form.
into a sprint, right? If that's not
Look at that
great
extension.
form, I don't
Triple extension
know
right
what that
there.
is, right?
That's like, I mean, if you look at ground to overhead and then you watch somebody on a rower, same thing. And I actually learned this cue. Rowing is not my strong suit, but I got a cue from a coach recently. Shout out to Jess at Fit Factor. She fixed my rowing.
Jess, that's my girl.
She is awesome.
I used to
but-
train Jess.
Yeah?
Yeah. She's a
She
unit.
came up to me. She's so smart, and I was rowing, and on the way back, she was like, "You got to let your legs release your arms, and your arms release your legs." And I was like, "I've never heard that before. Explain it." She's like, "Well, when you're doing it on the push back, but when you release, you're letting your legs bend before your arms straighten out. Let your arms straighten out before your legs bend. Let your arms release your legs." And my efficiency, it's like I was going like, you'd see it like double the efficiency of how many meters per, that I was going. And I've never had one cue, and she fixed my rowing completely. But noticing that on the snatches over here, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You have to let your arms, if you bend your legs before your weight comes down, you're in trouble.
Yep.
You're not stable in that position, but you extend all the way up, own that position at the top,
Yep.
let it come down, then bend the legs, get it back to the floor. I mean, it's just cool watching how things translate, and it's very functional, and it's very, you got to do that same thing to put something in your cabinets, right? Like, maybe not perfectly like that. Would you put like a plate in your cabinet, but you still got to extend. You got to extend your arms. You got to have that mobility, and these athletes are showing us what they have trained for today, and it's so impressive. It is what everybody on this earth should be able to do. Hinge, squat, push, pull.
All of the things.
Carry. It's amazing.
Yeah,
So right now
we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come right back with the start of round 4. Is that right?
I think it might be 3.
All right. Less than a minute break.
Cool. I feel like Cotton from
And just like that, we are right back. Before we jump into what we have going on, we have to pay some bills, Sal. We got to thank these sponsors. So who we have today, we want to thank, big shout out to Defiance Fuel. That's our water that's keeping us hydrated right now. We're going to go from there to our Shifted supplements. You can find your Shifted supplements where, Sal?
at NutriShop.
Hey, I was hoping you caught the alley hoop. You're like, I don't know.
I just had to locate my water that was right next to me, so we're sewing it up a little bit. Clearly, I need to do some snatches, but yes, NutriShop, and then we have Clean Eats for all your meal prep needs. So thank you so much to our sponsors. Without you, we would not be here today, able to commentate and host the what we have going on here, Special Olympics Winter Games.
Yeah.
Brought to you by WellPoint and our sponsors.
Yeah.
Shifted, Defiance Fuel, Clean Eats, and NutriShop. We are on round 4, I believe. Is this 4 or 3? 4.
Let's go with 4.
We're going to go with 4.
Let's go with 4.
Like I said, there's a lot. We're in the middle of organized chaos right here.
We
but
are.
It's all good. It's all good because we are having fun. And we have, what are we on right now?
We're going to the trap bar right now. So that's one thing that we know all about. And as you can see, like, tall chest, dropping that butt. Like, this is like perfect form right here, as you can see. And then he goes right into this core exercise. And so deadlifts, we have two tall competitors right now. Deadlifts are a little harder for taller athletes.
That's why
because just
more
space for you to move, and more space for you to mess it up. But as you can see, these athletes have been coached through this, and they are their form is on point.
Agreed. The trap bar is so good for. That's why I use it, because I have longer legs relative to my height and everything. So, not that a conventional deadlift isn't something I do. I definitely have done that. I did it. It was the first way that I deadlifted, but then I graduated to sumo because of, my hip situation, being more hip dominant, having longer legs relative to my torso length and everything. And then trap bar, game changer. I like literally haven't gone back. Because it meets all of my deadlifting needs, and that's what's so cool about trap bar is, like, I'm experienced with it. It's not like I'm a beginner, but it's a great tool to teach a beginner.
Yeah, great tool.
Because you have that automatic lat engagement, pulling those shoulders back, and as we age, we kind of get here, right? Our chest, the whole anterior front side of our body, we use a lot, so that gets locked in more as we age, and gravity brings us down. Our hips get tighter, and our hamstrings get tighter.
Yep.
That's why something like a deadlift is so important.
Which is why I preach, the older you get, the more you need to focus on your posterior.
Yeah.
You need to focus on your back.
Absolutely.
Like, with everybody, even with athletes, right? Everybody wants to do the sexy stuff, the beach muscles, the show muscles, right? We call these the back of your body are your go muscles.
Yeah.
People that are faster, that are stronger, have strong posterior chains, right? The things that keep you young is going to be found in the back of your body. Yes, I get it. We want show muscles too, but the more you work, especially guys, we're very like push dominant.
Sure.
And so that gets tight. Our chest, our shoulders gets tight and pulls us forward, right?
Yep.
And so the bigger you want to get, the faster you want to get, the stronger you want to get, the more you got to focus on your posterior chain.
Absolutely. And I know that's hard sometimes, because I know you guys love to bench press, right?
We do.
I remember Terry actually telling me one time, he might be listening right now. He's running around, helping us out, knowing everything, end all be all, no guy, go to. But he told me one time, because Terry's a coach, and he said, when I started, I stopped bench pressing and doing bicep curls in the same session at least, and I stopped doing them as often as I was, and I started doing more dips and posterior chain. That's when my arms blew up. That's when my chest blew up. And he's not wrong, because if you have that balance, if you're only working those muscles that you want to grow, like you might see some growth, but if you don't have any balance and you don't have any support from the antagonist, right? So if you don't have any support from the antagonist, how much more can you grow those muscles? You're going to hit a wall.
Yeah.
But if you have that balance, it's like you're opening up more potential for growth for those other muscles. So that's, whenever I have a male athlete, I try to get that point across if it's not there, because bench pressing is awesome and I love it and it's fun, but it's also, not the most important thing as far as our longevity goes. And if you want to be able to bench press longer, then you better be posterior chain better be a priority to you. So that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we're seeing that in trap bar deadlift today.
We're seeing that
with the
in the sled.
and the overhead.
We're seeing that, and the ground's overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a bunch of frontal plane stuff. It's not a bunch of like pushing stuff, right?
Not too much. There's a little bit with the slam and throw. There's a lot of explosive. But honestly, like that's
more
my
functional.
favorite ways to train like push is like the explosive.
Yep,
it is
same.
more functional, exactly.
Same. I'll have to push somebody off of me before I have to push 225 off of my. If I'm laying on the ground, I have to push 225 up. I'm in a bad situation.
Yeah.
I'm already in a bad situation. I mean, I don't mind it now. I'll do bench press.
Hopefully you don't find yourself under a car or a person anytime soon. That weighs
I
that
always
much,
think of persons. You know what I mean? Like I'll leave that there. Like like you never know. You might want to go with the different weight sizes.
Pull somebody,
right?
A lot more likely than I'm gonna have to push somebody off of me.
Yeah.
When I hit 300 for deadlifts, I just thought it was so cool that I could pick up a 300-pound man if I wanted to, one time. And that's probably not even true.
That's dead weight. Yeah, that's dead. If you pick up a 300-pound man from the floor side, we got some things we got to talk about. I'm gonna go have you pee in this cup real quick, and we're gonna do some testing. Let's see what you're taking.
There's an app out there. I forget what it's called, but I've seen people using it a lot now, and it's some kind of training app that people use with their clients, but it compares whatever your progress. If you've lifted, how I did like 1,000 pounds this session, like overall, it'll tell you that, but compare it to like animals. So it's like, you lifted 27 penguins today.
What? No, I haven't seen that.
Or wow, you lifted the equivalent of 3 walruses in the past week. That's incredible.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be a little upset if I left and all I lifted was 27 penguins. I'm probably gonna stay there. If I saw that on the app, I'm gonna stay a little longer, and like, you know what? I gotta get at least until a seal or.
How fun is that? Like, it's a fun way to like track your progress. Is like, oh, I lifted a walrus today. Like, what? Okay, cool. It's just fun. It's fun.
Walruses are pretty big though.
Walruses are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be more than 300 pounds.
Yeah, they get up like a ton. Yeah.
Like, so if you're lifting, I think that's like accumulated volume.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't think anybody's.
If you're lifting a ton in one session, then you
should be a world-class strongman competitor.
You are a world-class strongman competitor.
Yeah, hit up Brian Shaw. Oh man.
Well, Sav's out here lifting walruses, and then my girl Dr. Nat Dog just came in and hollered at us real quick. So if you guys didn't listen to that interview yet from yesterday, make sure you guys tap in and listen to all of the behind the scenes of what actually went into creating this fitness combine. Again, this is the very first one, but hopefully we'll be taking this thing worldwide here pretty soon. We're about to go. We're back at Farmer's Care. So we got 5 big squats. Yep. From there, we're going to grab those dumbbells. We're going to walk tall as we can down, and then 5 squats, and then we're going to walk it back. Yeah. So again, guys, every station here is like a full body workout, which is crazy. And why Dr. Nat Dog is listening, I want her to know, like, whoever thought of these exercises should be, I don't know if you should be reprimanded or.
I think whoever did this is incredibly, I mean, they are very well versed in fitness in general.
Yes.
And especially like balancing each, like the movement selection is very strategic. You're never working in the same heat, in the same station. You're never working the same body part at a time. So the shoulder taps with the trap bar, it's giving the posterior chain a little bit of a rest, and then you're working that shoulder stability, your chest, your core. You're keeping your core on, you know, like engaged. And that's such a smart move to me. And in the farmer carry, you're giving your legs a little bit of work while you're resting your grip, resting your upper body, resting your core a little bit, just hitting those med ball squats. I mean, it's very strategically put together. And, you know, this would make a great, I said yesterday, my classes better be ready because I'm gonna take a lot of notes. And we're going to be doing some med ball
And we're
squats,
doing this day one when we get back, baby.
It's good programming. It's really good programming. It's smart.
Great programming,
And I believe that's probably Santiago and Natalie.
That is, yes.
They are behind the fitness combine. This is the first year that they have been able to do this, and that is so exciting because everybody should have the opportunity to compete in fitness, and there needs to be more of that in general. That, I mean, CrossFit does it, and there's not a lot beyond CrossFit as far as this style of training and this style of like working out and competing. Like, we see Olympics, you know, and Special Olympics for Winter Games, basketball.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places that you can go and like show your stuff, right? Like we work out for years just to like work out, but there's nowhere to that necessarily that we go and say, hey, here's what I can do.
Right. And you don't have to train. You know, you shouldn't always train for that purpose, but you know, it's fun to see what, you know, to test your skills and test your strength. I have a client that just signed on with me just because she wants to know, like, I just want to know how strong I am, like how strong I can be, you know? And I'm like, that is so cool, you know? Like, let's find out.
And we're finding out about this med ball slam and throw right now. And so what you guys are seeing is every athlete gets one slam, one big chest press with the med ball, and then 5 jumping jacks. And so we're going to go through that. Every team is going through that. Like, the goal is to get down and back as fast as you can as a team. And then at the end, they will be scored against each other, like as far as the time goes. And so this is like again, this is amazing. And my guy Santiago is back with us, just kind of tapping in and listening. We were just talking about the wonderful programming that you guys did on this and how every station is literally like a full body workout, and the energy expenditure is like 10 at every station. So understanding the athletes not only have to understand how to do what they do, but how to monitor how much energy they're putting into it, because they have 7 different stations that they have to tap into and give their all. And so I just think this is freaking amazing right now.
Right.
Like, and even as you look at like this sled push, like, again, understand, like, yo, yes, y'all have to push, again, but I'm gonna have to do it again.
We're at a point in this group B. The competition is 7 rounds. We're at an over halfway point, and these athletes are still bringing their A game. I mean, there's no sign of slowing down.
Yeah.
And with all of the intensity going on here, that's hard to do. It is hard to gauge your, you know, tempo of what you're doing. It's hard to gauge how much you're putting into each and every rep, each and every run through of a sled push, and you know, it's to be at this point and still have the energy. I mean, like, it's getting hard.
Yeah.
You can see that they're working. They are working,
but that goes back to that community aspect that we were talking about again. It's really hard to quit when you have so many people that are in your corner cheering you on throughout. Yeah. So no matter how tired you are or how hard this event is for you, you have people that are right there cheering you on, giving you that energy. So what I always even tell clients, and you know, when people are like, why are you always so high energy? Because like that's actually a law. That's science. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. And so when you're in a high energy situation, you want to take your level up. If I came in, if you guys tapped into the feed and I was here like I didn't want to be here, you would probably log off, right? Same thing with the client. The client walks in to train with you and you're there like, I don't really want to, it's 5 o'clock in the morning for me too. I don't want to be here either. You're going to take your energy down. But if you walk in and I'm like, yo, let's go, we got work to do today, then you automatically know you got to take that knob and turn to the right.
My friends laugh at me sometimes. Actually, it's funny. I was walking down the street with a kettlebell in my hand doing a farmer carry. And I was filming it because I just think it's such an easy way to work out and get your heart rate up higher than even walking. Just hold something, carry some weights. But I'm walking down the street and my neighbor drives by, and it's a neighbor I've known since I was a baby. And he's like, "What are you doing? You're walking around. Is that thing holding you down from flying away?" I'm like, and people think we're silly for being so excited about like exercise and so excited, but it's for a reason. Exactly what you said. Energy can be transferred, and that's it. But everything is energy.
Yep.
That's why people vibrate a certain way. And if you're a negative person, you're vibrating down here. A positive person's gonna be like, it's gonna be really hard for me to like meet you where you're at, homie.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta come up here with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So the higher your vibration, the more that you're gonna attract people to go, I want to be on that vibration.
Yeah.
That feels good.
I want to be
and
around that. Like those are people that I want to be around. Again, that's what we're feeling in here. So it's really hard for you not to come in here and give your all.
Right.
When you're surrounded by people that are giving their all.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's why it's so hard for Sav and I just to sit here and watch, because it's like we're seeing people we're seeing people go out and give their all, and we're sitting here talking like I'm trying not to yell into the mic. I'm trying not to cheer on these athletes. Yeah. Like I want to be right there in their ear. Yeah. I want to be right there in your ear. Like let's go.
Yeah.
Like, but we have to sit here in this environment, like we talked about yesterday, talk about how much we want to do it, or talk about the other athletes that are doing it. Kind of like what we talked about yesterday. Like I only miss football when I'm at a football game.
Yeah.
I only miss like working out when I'm surrounded by people working out. Right? It's like no, bro. Like I want to when this is over, let's clear it out, turn the music up, and let's go to work. Like let's get a workout in.
Yeah.
Let's go to work. I want some of this too.
Are you going to the Fit Games on? I think it's the 10th of February, the Nashville Fit Games. It's going to look a lot like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. There's individual and group just like this.
Yeah,
and
I think that goes to your point about what we talked about earlier. There's no place that you can go like as a fitness person, and now we've created that.
Yeah.
We've created that
Yeah.
place that you can go and compete in various events, kind of like this. And just kind of see where you are. We also have individual, we have team events as well, put on by Nashville Fit. So yeah, I'll be there. I'll probably be on the microphone there as well.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, I have
Are
some
you
friends
competing?
that signed up. No, I'm not competing, but I have a lot of friends that signed up to compete in group and individual.
Okay.
So I'm there to cheer them on.
Let's go.
Just be a part of this environment.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I enjoy. It's hard because I really do enjoy competing, but I really like watching competitions because I like supporting. It's why I'm a coach.
Yeah.
I like to cheer people on. It's really fun for me to be like somebody's like, hype person.
Yeah.
When somebody says like, "God, Sav, you're a great hype woman. I got to carry you around in my pocket." It's like I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Being somebody's
that's what
hype
I'm here
person.
for. Yeah.
So I kind of wish I could be up here hyping everybody up right now, but it's probably a good thing I'm not because I can get real into it and I might distract the athletes.
Yeah, I'm definitely a distraction, which is good that I'm sitting down over here because I'll be shuffling with him right now. Like we'll be sprinting together. Like, come on, man, let's go.
Yeah.
And so we're back to the agility station, which is one of my favorite stations, right?
Yeah.
Just because it's a part of my background, so something that I did like kind of my whole life, and so watching these athletes compete into that is just like it's amazing to me.
Yeah,
a lot of coordination
you talk
here.
About it, like dropping the hips, take off, change it. It makes me want to get a session with you.
Yeah, let's go.
And I wanted to get a session with you for a while, but I want you to be like. I want to be in a football practice.
Okay, Sav, don't talk dirty to me.
Like. I want to know what that's like, truly. Not like, oh, that's cute, Sav. I'll show you a little bit of like take me through a football practice.
Okay.
I want to know how that is. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know it's not what I normally doing.
My mom would always say, "Be careful what you ask for," right? Because sometimes you get it.
I am in for it, but hey, you gotta get out of your comfort zone.
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm 100% with it.
All right, so we are now back with us. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Hope you're having a good day out there.
We're gonna go to the trap bar now.
It's a beautiful day in Gatlinburg, that's for sure. And we're gonna get out there on the slopes a little bit later, but right now we are here at the Fitness Combine on round 5 or 6, one of those. I keep losing count.
Yeah, this is our final round, actually. This is round 7.
Right
yeah.
on. Let's
this
go.
is our final round right here.
Oh,
And so the athletes are going all in because they know this is their last 5-minute round.
And there's so many smiles
before
in
it's
this
over.
room.
Smiles, red
There's a smile
faces.
as we're competing.
Yeah, this is. I'm not a smiler. Are you a smiler when you compete?
Oh my gosh, no. No, I have a friend that like every time she's one of the strongest women I've ever met, and she'll do like a 500, 600 pound deadlift, set it down and just have a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look like I'm.
Well, Seth, if I was picking up 500-600 pounds, I would probably be smiling too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Honestly, right?
It's not many people in the world that can do that.
Smiling, though. You know what I'm doing? I'm screaming because I'm like, I just picked that up. You know,
Yeah.
like, that's how I am.
Okay.
It's pretty ugly.
Okay.
But I don't have any shame about
So
it.
you're a screamer? Like when you work out, you're a
grunter. No.
what's your workout personality?
I definitely have RBF.
Okay.
So I don't look pleasant when I'm in the middle of something, but I also try really hard to not like make a lot of facial expressions because that's fascia and tension. And I read an article written by a ballerina one time, and I've seen other like powerlifters and stuff kind of adopt this concept, but it could be making a difference. It could not. So I'm not going to say you must do this, but I try to relax my face and apply the tension in my body where I need it. If I need to radiate tension, like I'm doing a really heavy carry or something like that, but relaxing my face so that I'm not all here, because that's also going to, cause more wrinkles and all that. But I try and be calm here and then apply that tension or energy toward the movement that I'm doing or whatever I'm doing. So it comes off a lot as looking like I'm like don't want to be there or that I'm mad about something.
Yeah.
But, yeah. If I'm celebrating something, it's like more like a yell than it is like a all right, like what about you?
I'm completely opposite when I work out. Like I am not like a energy guy. Like I'm dialed in, and so I look like kind of like you said. Like I would be a complete jerk.
Sure.
But really, I'm just like I know this is my time, and so I'm kind of focused in on that. I don't do a lot of celebrating because I don't know if there's anything for me to celebrate. Like when I'm working out, it's just like
especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah, for me, like I put myself in situations like in my mind, and so it like if I post like the video that I posted the other day that you commented on, like the step up video. I put myself in real situations, and the where I got that text from is like I'm like, all right, if something was to happen, my wife was with me. Could I carry her? Can I put her on my back and take her somewhere? Right? Like, and so.
Great thing to be thinking
And so I put that in my mind. My wife is nowhere near 185, which what I had.
Sure.
But in my mind, like it's like she's on my back and I gotta walk up this hill with her.
Then there should be no problem.
Then it should be no problem, right? So that's where I am mentally. So people are like, "What, you're okay?" I'm like, yeah. Well, I was walking up a mountain just now with my wife on my back in an emergency, but
It's a
so I'm
perfect
somewhere
analogy,
at.
though.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a video that went viral around Christmas time with a kettlebell. Oh. Interruption. We will do an interview here in just a minute. We're going to interview some of these athletes. So we're going to take a quick break. And after we return, we are going to have the opportunity to talk to some of the athletes that just performed. So that's exciting. Hang with us so you can hear from these awesome athletes.
All right.
Hey guys, all right, so we are back. We just finished with Group B in Special Olympics Fitness Combine, and we are here with a very, very special guest. This is my friend Scotty Smith. He is an elite athlete here at Special Olympics, and we were just talking before Scotty even came over here about how great he was on the sled. You heard us talking about him as he was running that sled down. So
Scotty was the guy that I screamed for. I was coaching you over here, Scotty. You didn't even know it. I was like, I screamed into the mic. I just felt the energy that you were putting into that sled.
And I asked him what his favorite event was. I was like trying not to ask him too many questions before we came on, but what was the favorite?
It was a sled push.
And what was your time on that sled?
15:06.
15:06. That means he got down and back in 15 seconds. Yo, that is amazing.
That is
how long have you been training,
impressive.
Scotty? Clearly, you're a pretty good athlete, man.
Yesterday was the first time, a little sore from last night, and today I feel like I do better today than I did yesterday.
We love to hear that.
What do you feel like the difference was between today and yesterday?
Well, yesterday I pushed harder. Today I didn't push as hard I did yesterday.
Okay.
So you saved a little bit of energy then.
Yeah, I saved a little
we
bit
were
of
talking
energy
about that.
today, so.
That's smart.
Oh, yeah.
You learned from yesterday, okay, I went a little bit too hard in the paint yesterday. I got to reel it back, make sure I'm pacing myself, and then you came out with a better performance today. That's awesome.
Yeah, and got to meet some new friends
Love
that I
that.
ain't never met. Had 2 new teammates on my team today.
Yeah.
Jude and Delaney. They was real good teammates.
What do you feel makes them a good teammate?
They tried their best.
Yeah.
Just like open ceremony Sunday night, I was a
You was the host?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And that one went good.
Yeah. How did so you not only are you hosting, but you're an athlete as well. How do you do all that stuff?
I'm an athlete leader.
You're an athlete leader?
awesome.
Okay,
Yes.
that's amazing. Clearly you are, because you were dominating out there,
Yes.
Scotty.
So
How do you feel
enjoy?
like having your teammates there? Without them, how do you think you would have done?
if it wouldn't been for my teammates, we probably wouldn't have done good.
Yeah. It would have been cool. You would have probably done all right, but you feel like it helped, right?
Which I like the ones that was with me yesterday, and I want to give a shout out to them. They're sitting over there, Dakota and Joe Watterson, and my coach, Mackenzie.
Coach McKenzie?
Yes.
Coach McKenzie.
Okay.
I would like to give him a shout out.
Yeah, shout out to them, baby.
Awesome. That's good sportsmanship right there. That's a true athlete.
What's his? I don't know his name.
That's Santiago.
Santiago. I like it for him for what he done.
Yeah.
In this, and Natalie and everybody working to make this competition real good.
Is this the only thing that you compete in, or do you compete in something else? Just this one?
Yes.
Okay. And this is year one. So what involvement have you had with Special Olympics before this?
Well, I went to Orlando, Florida, and competed in flag football. We won gold medal.
Hey.
I was a quarterback.
No.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, you are a quarterback. I can see it.
Yes,
That's awesome.
and I do
Quarterback's
bocce,
alive.
running track, track and field.
Awesome, man.
Okay. I love it, man. Scotty is out here competing in everything, man.
Is there
I'm pretty
anything you
sure you'll
wanna
probably
do
take
going
another gold
forward?
medal.
Is there anything you haven't tried yet that you might want to try in future Special Olympics?
And I done ice skating last year.
What?
Yeah. And
Jeez.
I finished first and won in second in
No
the
way.
second one.
I was just telling Jarrell how I am so impressed with ice skating because you got some tiny little blades under your feet. You got to balance. You got to be able to
It
coordinate.
ain't fun hitting the ice. So.
I can
I'll tell you
imagine.
that
It's
much.
hard.
And that's why I don't ice skate, Scotty, because it's not fun hitting the ice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for that, then my other coach, the director, asked me last night, said, would you want to go back to ice skating or this? I said, I'd rather do this.
Me too, Scotty.
There's no blades under your
I'd
feet.
rather do this as well.
I mean,
You can walk on your own 2 feet instead of a couple of blades. Yeah, right on. Well, thank you for joining us today. Do you got any more questions for him, Jerome?
No, I think that's good, man. Scotty, we're man. I'm telling you, man, we're so proud of you guys. Not just you, but all the athletes that were here, and how much effort you guys gave. And I'll tell Trent to find the clip where I was coaching you on here, because I got so excited watching when you popped up on the screen. But man, we're so proud of you. Keep killing it, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
You are a true
thank y'all
athlete.
for letting me come over.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for coming
talking to
over,
us.
man.
We're honored.
Yeah,
we're
well-
talking to a true Special Olympics athlete right here.
Hey, and we'll catch you
Champion. He's
next
won
time.
gold and has a 15:06 time, and we're gonna have the award ceremony go on here shortly. So stay tuned. We're gonna talk to more athletes, but Scotty, we appreciate you being here today.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, brother.
performance.
Have a good one.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.